Father, start with my town. Let your light rise again. Save my town, Lord, save my street. Let your mercy move these feet. Every home, every sound. Your spirit turning hearts around. Save my region, heal our pain, wash this land with holy rain. Break the towers built on greed, raise up hearts the people need. When the righteous rule, the people rejoice. But when the corrupt lead, the people groan. Father, we choose rejoicing. Oh, Father, put the righteous in power. Oh, let your light fall this hour. Oh, from the valley to the top. Oh, we declare your reign of power. Oh, Father, put the righteous in power. In power, let your glory flood this hour. From the valley to the tower, we declare your reign of power. From the valley To the skyline, we rise again. Hand in hand, we build this land, women and men. For our daughters, for our sons, for our home and pride. Let peace be our armor, and hope be our guide.
Security brings the courage to dream. Accountability keeps our nation clean. Local hearts, local hands, we grow strong. Training the future, we all belong.
Advance South Africa,
Advance.
Together we stand, together we dance.
We dance.
Municipal, we're one tribe,
one chance
for prosperity and unity. Advance,
advance, advance South Africa, advance.
hope in our hearts, courage in our stance.
Advance.
From Cape to Limpopo, from Karoo to the sand, we'll build what we desire.
Advance,
Advance,
advance.
oh, every mother safe, every sister free, every daughter's dream protected by we. When our homes are strong, investors come near, a nation in harmony, there's nothing to fear. We are the
Salt of this land, S-A-L-T.
we are the
Salt of this land, S-A-L-T.
security,
Salt of this land,
accountability,
salt of this land,
locality,
salt of this land.
training. We rise together, every color, every creed, for a nation that gives, not a nation of need. Advance South Africa, see me song, it's our dance. For prosperity and unity, our chance. For prosperity and unity, our chance.
South Africa,
See me song, it's our dance. For prosperity and unity, our chance. For prosperity and unity, advance. Oh.
How do you actually fix a broken town? And I'm not talking about small tweaks here and there, but a complete radical overhaul. Today, we're going to dive into a pretty bold blueprint that proposes to do exactly that.
It's a massive question, right? And it's really at the heart of what we're looking at today. We're going to explore a very specific plan that was designed for one town that's grappling with this exact problem.
Okay, so let's get into it. The place we're talking about is the Ngwathi municipality in South Africa. And to really get why the proposed solution is so ambitious, you first have to understand just how deep the crisis there runs.
When you look at this timeline, you start to see a pretty clear pattern. This isn't just a one-off mistake, it's a long history of serious financial trouble. You've got millions in wasteful spending, and these qualified audit opinions year after year, which is basically a huge red flag from auditors saying the books are not okay. Then you pile on serious fraud charges involving top officials. Well, you've got the perfect recipe for a total collapse in public trust. And look, this isn't just about spreadsheets and accounting. All that mismanagement has a very real human cost. We're talking about an unemployment rate around 30% and a staggering 60% of households living in poverty. Those are devastating numbers. Then you add rising crime into the mix, and you've got a community that is just under enormous pressure.
So, with all of that as the backdrop, a new plan was proposed. It's called the SALT framework, and it's this really ambitious attempt to fix all of these problems, not just one by one, but all at the same time. So, where does this plan come from? It's the brainchild of a municipal political party called the Southern African Advance, or TSAA for short. This is their vision for how you could systematically rebuild a place like Nguathe, literally from the ground up.
The whole thing is built around this acronym, SALT. It stands for Safety, Accountability, Local Economy, and Training and Transformation. And the core idea here is that you can't just fix one thing. They argue that all these pieces are interconnected, and they have to work together to create a real cycle of recovery. So here's a quick look at the game plan for each pillar. It kicks off with a massive focus on safety, then moves to what they call total financial transparency. Then it's about boosting the local economy, and finally, investing in the town's youth. Let's dig into that first one. The white paper makes one thing absolutely clear. Safety is the foundation. It's not negotiable. They argue that without it, nothing else can happen. No investment, no growth, and definitely no trust. And this quote, wow, it just says it all, doesn't it? It's such an uncompromising benchmark. The goal isn't just to lower crime, it's to create an environment where everyone feels completely and totally safe. So how in the world do they plan to do that? Well, it's an aggressive strategy. A huge chunk of the budget, 40%, would go straight to safety. That money would fund everything from trained local reservists to high-tech gear like drones and advanced lighting, and even an app for real-time incident reporting. And critically, they want each neighborhood to help design its own security plan. Okay, on to the second pillar. This one goes right after that history of financial chaos we saw earlier. And, their proposed solution here is just as radical as their safety plan.
This is the promise, right here. Total transparency. No more waiting for some confusing audit report a year later. The idea is to make the town's finances a completely open book that any citizen can look at anytime they want.
And the key tool to make this happen is a public transparency app. I mean, just imagine this. You pull out your phone and you can see every single dollar of tax money coming in and every single contract being paid out. You can see exactly who got the money and what it was for. It's designed to be a tamper-proof public ledger open to absolutely everyone. You wouldn't even need a login. So what's the big idea here? It's really about shifting the power. By making every single transaction visible, the plan aims to make corruption almost impossible. It's about turning every citizen into a watchdog and rebuilding that broken trust through just radical openness. All right, so once you have that foundation of safety and accountability, the framework then pivots to kickstarting the economy, and it focuses on two key areas: where the money is spent and who gets a chance to work.
The third pillar is all about the local economy. The plan mandates that a whopping 80% of all the money the city spends on everything from fixing roads to buying pens has to go to businesses located right there in town. The goal is simple. Make sure public money stays in the community to support local jobs instead of just leaving.
And the fourth pillar, training, sets this incredibly ambitious target. They want to create 5,000 paid internships every single year. The idea is to give every single young person leaving school a direct path into the workforce, helping them build real skills and tackling that huge youth unemployment problem head on. So you can see how these last two pillars are really designed to feed each other. You force the city to buy local, which creates demand for local businesses. And at the same time, the internship program makes sure those businesses have a steady supply of skilled young talent ready to go. So what's the ultimate end game here? What does all this add up to? Well, the white paper argues that these four pillars don't just solve separate problems, they're actually designed to create a powerful, self-reinforcing cycle. This is really the core theory of the entire framework. It's a kind of domino effect. They believe that when a town is safe and you can trust its finances, it suddenly becomes a really attractive place for new businesses to invest and for people to move to. And that new investment just fuels the local economy even more, creating what they call a prosperity cycle. And this slide, wow, it really just puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? On one side, you have the reality of Nguathe today: crime, murky finances, a struggling economy. And on the other, you have the future envisioned by the SALT framework. The difference is just night and day. It paints a picture of a total transformation. And that vision has a name: prosperity in unity. This isn't just some nice-sounding slogan either. The plan actually puts a number on it. They claim this framework could unlock over 1 billion rand in new economic value for the town in just 5 years. Which, of course, brings us all the way back to that big question we started with. Is this a blueprint that any struggling town could just pick up and use? Or is this a unique vision, one that's really tied to a specific place, a specific time, and the specific beliefs of the people who created it? That's the thought I'll leave you with.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Indeed. Hello.
Good day, everyone.
Hello,
Hello.
Alco.
Everybody nice and busy?
Yeah, as it should be.
Yes. Super berry. Yeah, from using the mouse, my hand is oof, 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 oof. Yes. Ons werk 'n bietjie baie hoor. We work quite a lot.
Who would have thought that an illness like mouse scabs can be developed over a period of time?
Jeez.
Mouse scabs.
I kid you not, check there.
I can see. Wow.
Crazy, eh?
I'm impressed.
My work, eh? Yes. Yeah. But I mean, I like it. I was thinking about, let me just get rid of the show starting soon thing at the bottom that I usually leave for an entire show. There we go. Yeah, I was thinking, when you find your passion, it feels like you've retired anyway, like, because all your work is lacquer. You like it all. You dig everything that you do. And I mean, last night we did a token launch, and it was terrifying from one end to the other. Launching things in Web3 is absolutely terrifying. And doing something like this, I mean, potentially terrifying, but also a lot of fun. Politics, you go up against people who have got no heart, no soul. They're completely they're driven by self-interest. You go up against people who are they're so driven by money, and it's pretty much the same in the Web3 ecosystem with crypto and game development and stuff that we do. There are people, there are actors in that ecosystem who have no conscience. They only care about themselves. That's called bags. What's in it for me, my bags, that kind of thing. So like, I realized quite. I realized it's quite a revelation. It's this open understanding that that there are people out there who, when they see a model like this, it is the worst nightmare for them. So I wanted to quickly show this. It's just a mock-up of the Ngwate Open Ledger. Let me see if I'm just going to zoom in and then share it. So these numbers that you see aren't real. It's just a mock-up. It's an example of what it would look like on your phone. And you can imagine the nightmare of a blockchain-based accountability system to people who are used to stealing. I mean, there's a budget of 1-point-something billion rand, right? How easy it must be to steal 1 million here, 100,000 there, 10,000 here, in these centralized ledger systems. But when we bring something like this in, on the accountability side here, it shows you how much is in the account, how much is flowing in, for that day or week or month. Depends on what you select. And then it shows you what's being spent on safety. So remember, security is going to have a budget. Training's got a budget. Local economy's got a budget. And then obviously legacy reserve is for young people, like what we're doing in the town for young people. And then it shows you in real time how the money's being spent. Hey, there's Henry. Hello, Henry. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
I want to coin a new term for us today.
Yes.
Super political party. The
Super political.
supra political.
Yes.
Yes,
That's better
gotta
than
look what the meaning of that is.
quasi-political,
That's it.
Supra political is exactly who we are.
eh?
That suits me
Joylani.
better.
Supra.
Yes. We are above and better and beyond.
Yeah, I don't know if I can actually. I'll send you the meaning in terms of tsar, but later on. But I
Okay,
just
awesome.
wanted to drop this penny in your midst.
That's
quickly.
very cool. Eh? Yeah, well, yeah, we're not quite. I mean, look, we've got to be all political to take political power, but it's certainly not our goal to be
Yeah.
all, like the rest of the power hunters. But I guess you got to get power if you want to put something like this into thing. Where, can you imagine every cent going in, every cent going out? Huh? Like someone just bought fuel, for the whole of Ngwate. Everybody who's on this app will see someone just paid this, someone just paid that, someone just did that. This just got paid, that got paid. Street lighting repair. Then you click on it, and then it tells you who's done it, who still has to do it, etc., etc.
And what is
Like-
left in the budget for that sector of expenses?
Yes, yeah. What's left, and it goes in. You can go into like mega detail, and imagine how terrifying this would be, for for normies and for the corrupt, them corrupt people who, and also people who don't want to get caught for what they did. So we're like not really interested in catching people out for what was done because we're in advance. We're not in reverse gear. But anyway, so again, let's do a refresher, shall we? On yesterday, Hanku gave a very good explanation of the prosperity cycle. The day before that, Roy also did a nice explanation. Be nice to have Joy and Makayo on fire up on stage at some point. But I think maybe today let's talk about security. So I think maybe we start with Roy and then let me just see if Henry, I see you keep falling off the stage.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bad spot. I've posted in the chat line. I've put in a chat on what the supra political means.
Oh, nice.
You can just read it.
Supra political. It stands above party politics, engaging political mechanisms only as instruments for real world execution. Very nice. Very nice.
There you go.
It works for me.
Very nice. Let me see.
Sounds good.
You can actually put it in the comments here. Look, like so. Boop. Boop. Now it's going to send it. Let's see where it sends it. YouTube rejected your comment. They think it's spam. So it's a bit spammy.
That's good news.
Fine.
That means we're onto something.
Yes.
Yeah, no, they think it's spam. Don't worry. I have certain powers here. I have some magical powers.
In the meantime, while you're doing your magic, I thought of just mentioning, and I think we potential voters must realize that what we're talking about here and what we're describing is what is it. This is our bottom line. We won't go. We once we activate the day after we won. This is what will come to be activated and implemented in our region. So this is what will be put in place. This will be the basic minimum policy that we stand for as governing party in Ngwati.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, like the look, you need power to be able to put these scary mechanisms in place, because security, criminals are the ones that suffer. Accountability, criminals are the ones that suffer. Locality, criminals are the ones that suffer. Those top three things are going to hit criminality so hard, because investors don't want to be where there's criminality. They want to be where there's an advance. Where things are moving forward, where there's where it's safe to invest, and safety to invest requires many cool things. Very exciting. Hey, Kat is on Facebook over there, Empress Joy. Hello. Okay, right. So, well, we've got Henry on stage, so we'll go Henry, Roy, Hanku. So let's talk about the power of a secure area. So on our SALT framework, S is for security, right? So the power of having townships, commercial districts, residential districts, farms, tourism being like watertight secure as a municipal responsibility in terms of attracting investment. What is the major upside in having such an obsessive security focus?
Yes, okay. For me, it's all in the mind of the individual. It's what you said in that the lecture the other day, that we must occupy the mind space of the individual. So obviously then safety starts in the mind of the person. Can have all safety measures in place, but if an individual still feel unsafe, there's nothing you can do about it. So for me, it's like working with the mindset of each individual, showing the way that we're going to introduce safety into the community, because it's going to be totally dependent on their interaction and their participation in keeping the community safe. We're going to have to start teaching them that it starts with looking after each other. We as an organization has got a vast knowledge of security systems, and the world-based technology that we can bring in and support the community with. But we need to have safety take hold in the minds of every person, and then start to grow from there. Thank you.
Roy?
Yeah, I think just as we build a house and we start with the foundations and you end up with the roof, the safety aspect is where we need to start in getting Ngwati into that prosperous vision that we all foresee for the community and our municipality. It is also with safety and security, there's also a sense of quietness, of things are not so hectic anymore, and I don't have to look over my shoulder every 2 seconds and lock everything up and make sure that my kids are around me, and that my car is locked, and that my house is locked, and my business is locked. It's the first step to cultivate the land for the harvest to come. And if we're going to attract foreign business and business from elsewhere in the country into this area, it is absolutely essential that we get that spot on. I posted the other day something on one of our groups, on our executive WhatsApp group. There are legal aspects that we have to look at, and of course, with people in our organization that can assist us with that, we're not going to fall into those traps, and make sure that we cover all our bases, and that's all nice and legal, and that it's done right from the beginning.
Very good. Very, very good. Hanku. You're muted. You'll have to unmute yourself, Hanku.
Good.
Lovely.
Okay, now you can hear me. If I start off and add to what Henry shared, can you imagine? We live in an area where, as now, it's a common understanding that we are basically living in an unsafe world. Can you imagine the change in attitude, the change in heart, the change in fellowship among all, if everybody knows and take it for granted that we are in a safe area? When anybody mentions something about unsafe, people will ask, what do you mean? So that is what we want. And when we got that, and you roll out and you expand that perception to your investors group, I mean, that just puts us in a totally different bracket. So yes, of course, that is the foundation, the minimum foundation we have to start off from. And I think it's a no-brainer, and everybody will understand that that is the prerequisite for inviting investors and creating a prosperous area. And it's perfectly, totally doable. We've got all the expertise to get that done. And then also just for people to understand, voters to understand, that this is not a takeover. We're not taking over anybody's job. We're enhancing, and we're expanding, and we're taking hands and promoting current service providers and the police and.
Yeah, go for Roy. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, the existing structure of security companies operating in Paris is not going to cease. In fact, they're going to thrive. They're going to increase. They're going to hold hands together, and we make a plan together. At the moment, we are working in separate clusters, and it would be fantastic if everybody can speak with the same voice, and we make the same plan, and we go together and do this thing. And not one group of people go this way and the other this way, so that we work as a union.
That's very good. Quick hello. Hi, Erica. And I see Joy and Kat chatting away there on Facebook. It's nice to see everybody. Yeah, so my favorite thing that I like to explain whenever we chat to new folks, about why security is such a high priority, is the desert island, the island shipwreck scenario. So if I drop you off, or if you get washed ashore after a shipwreck, the first two things that you have to find is water and shelter. And if you don't have water and shelter, then nothing else is really. You're not safe. You're gonna struggle with hygiene and survival. So the highest priority is really for someone to be able to have a safe place to lay their head, for them to have water, and and then you start moving outwards from there to make sure that a business has the same thing. Can a business be in a rural area without it being robbed? Can someone in Tumahole set up a shop without some drug-addled miscreant breaking in and taking their stuff? Because it's very difficult to start something with nothing. Very, very difficult. In a township, you don't have money, you don't have inheritance really. Banks won't really give you loans. It's a nightmare. You don't have liquidity, you don't have any kind of leverage, and so you've got to beg, buy, borrow, steal. You've got to try and get some kind of grant from somewhere, and usually it's so corrupt that even getting money from the municipality cost you most of that money to the person who organized you that money. The corruption is just insane. So the poor people get exploited on an unconscionable level. So when they start that business, they already started it with all the odds stacked against them. I mean, a healthy startup has got a 3% chance of succeeding. A healthy startup, that's a well-funded, healthy startup with a proper marketing budget, proper business plan, market research done, SWOT analysis locked in, all of the acronyms. It's you got a less than 3% chance of succeeding, especially in current markets. Now, have some dude in a township or a lady in a township try and start up a little business, and they already got the 3% chance of succeeding, and now they get robbed as well. Maybe. Like, what the heck, So we have to increase the chance. We got to move that needle. That 3% has to move to like 5% or 7% or 10% or 12% or 100%, but like that 3% chance of that business succeeding, we got to push that needle as much as we possibly can in the favor of the people who want to start those businesses. Because here's an issue. Currently, let's take a township like Tumahole here in Ngwate. It's got money, there's thousands of people. There's between so in all of Ngwate there's just over 100,000 people, but in Tumahole alone there's 45 to 70,000 people there, estimated that stay there. And if you look at the average median income, you're looking at upwards of 45 million rand. That's hovering around there. Now, where's that money going? Because they don't have furniture shops in the township. They don't have nice coffee shops. They got like shebeens, alcohol. Alcohol is like the vice, really the high-end vice of the poor. The Bible even says that. So those shebeens take exceptional advantage of the plight of people who are stressed and depressed and broken. So but you don't see fancy pants coffee shops and like a Kentucky Fried Chicken in the township and a petrol station in the township. You won't see that stuff. So they have to now travel to town, and they take that money. So let's say there's at worst case an expenditure of 70 to 80 million rand coming out of Tumahole. Let's say worst case scenario. There's definitely more than that. That comes out of that township in a month, and they have to come into town. They bring that money into town. So it's just left Tumahole. They bring it into town, and it gets spent at shops and stores and whatever that have their headquarters in Johannesburg or Cape Town or London even. Now that money from that township is gone. It's not going to circulate. That wealth isn't going to be amongst those people, not in any way, shape, or form. It's gone. And now you say, okay, well, why don't they just set up things so that that money can circulate inside the township? Well, because the stuff gets robbed and broken and stolen, and until we make a plan to make those townships secure, the money's going to leave. And when it's secure and the money's in the township and people have got, that those millions are staying inside that ecosystem, Now you start having farmers being able to supply those stores directly. That means your farming communities start to flourish as well, because the money isn't leaving the region. The money is staying in the region. Like even so in Tumahole, I think it's a USAVE, it's called, and I think that's owned by ShopRite. So obviously we're not against these large kind of monopolies, but the thing is, even that money goes there and then it leaves Tumahole. So we have to think in terms of how do we make it so secure that there can be flea markets and that there can be the warehouses set up. We were involved in this warehouse setup thingy almost 30 years ago, I think, in not Tumahole, in Tembisa. And they stole the walls off that thing, man. People were selling and doing well for maybe 2 months, maybe. And they stole the walls off the building that we built. They stole the ceilings out at night. Like one guy installed a burglar bars for his shop, and he got back the next morning and everything was gone, including the burglar bars. They even stole the burglar bars. Security guard nowhere to be seen. Don't know if he left the country or he got buried somewhere, but like those people, people in poverty suffer under everything that comes with poverty. It's not just being poor; it's the nightmare of exploitation and victimization itself. So if we bring like unprecedented security measures into an ecosystem like that, with the resources, the knowledge, the know-how, the backing to allow them to be able to start little businesses and stores. I mean, there should be a mall there, like a little mall, and it changes the ball game dramatically for those people. But we generally don't think like that because we think that these self-serving economists know everything because they use big words when they speak, and they use those completely outdated MBAs, which is basically, there's this culture that there's a movie called American Psycho that nobody should watch, but it outlines the culture of the Wall Street mentality. That's like the 80s, 90s Wall Street mentality, where people only care about money. Like you understand that folks who are driven by money are psychopaths. They don't care about other human beings. They will put you on the altar of their own self-enrichment, like in a flash. Now, we're not against people making money, but what we are telling you right now is don't believe political forces who come in and tell you that that they're going to change the way they're doing things when their entire ecosystem is about self-enrichment. Like the obsession has to be that community. It has to be, how do we create a safe environment that draws tourists and draws investors, and stops trafficking dead in its tracks. See, primarily, that's why I'm into this. What excites me primarily is that the kids would be safe, because I'm from the NGO ministry side of things, and we've been now for 30 years just seeing how especially young girls are just absolutely exploited. Gender-based violence is unchecked in our country. Most unsafe place on earth to be a little girl. So when you bring this heavy security reporting structures, well-funded community policing initiatives, municipally funded, so municipal focus, you open the floodgates of heaven. I'm telling you, like the money, the manpower, great people move into the region, especially when you start having these little initiatives for for this council and that council and that council, like the public, the non-political forces, people who are just they're doing something great, and then you just fund what they're doing. You get stuff like that happening, man. But anyway, that was my soapbox. I was quite soapboxy today.
I was thinking it. The more and more you understand it, the more and more it makes sense. And Henry pointed it out the other day. He said, "I easily I wouldn't have realized it if he didn't mention it. But all these big chunks of budget that we throw towards security, we throw towards training, that's not gone." If we ensure under local economy that we create a circular economy, that spending of municipalities starts circulating in our community and everybody benefits.
Big time.
Yeah, it feels to me as if we don't address the safety and security aspect head on and make a huge priority of it, that we're actually robbing the average person, robbing him of his peace, of his quality of life, of his if he's creative and he wants to start something, he will never have the confidence to do it. If I'm an artist and I paint something and I want to sell it on the street, I'll probably be robbed within the first day that I have it there. So, by not addressing this, the quality of life that the municipality and the government provide to their citizens is actually a watered down version of what it should be. So it should be elevated to a stage where people feel now the atmosphere has been created for things to thrive. It's like having a greenhouse. If you don't have that protection over those plants, the sun is going to burn them and they will never reach their full maturity and what they were meant to be. So it really needs to be something that sits at the forefront of what we need to achieve in this municipality of ours.
So maybe I can just interject here with some real-time experiences. Like over the past year, we got very, very much involved in the IDP budget. So we're aware that the amount being budgeted for the IDP year was 1.3 billion. That shot up to 2 billion overnight and then got knocked down by the province. The thing is that was that money released, it would have been gone like the previous year's 1.3 billions. And we know from our side that if SALT was already in place, a large chunk of that money would have already been spent on safety and security, making the area safe and secure for business to prosper.
Absolutely. We're all righty. We're at the top of the hour here on the Daily Advance with some of the fellows, the fine fellows from the Southern African Advance, on Advance Radio. Man, we need to get a nice radio license, then we can talk like that all day.
You sound like you worked for BBC before.
Yes. Oh, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It's like those old school. With the illustrious Henry Dell, a legal businessman and entrepreneur. That's very cool. All right. Let's say goodbye. Play out to the cool chat. Goodbye. And then we'll see everybody tomorrow again. We'll
see you.
all the different platforms. But for now, I think it's nice. We're building some nice content, and I know there's people listening on many platforms. Today we had a lot of people joining us on X, on my X account. Usually they're there fighting with me about crypto, but it's nice that they hear about politics a little bit.
Good.
Awesome. Bless you all. Thank you for your hard work, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Cheers.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Bye, Echo. Henry. Bye. Cheers.
Father, start with my town. Let your light rise again. Save my town, Lord, save my street. Let your mercy move these feet. Every home, every sound. Your spirit turning hearts around. Save my region, heal our pain, wash this land with holy rain. Break the towers built on greed, raise up hearts the people need. When the righteous rule, the people rejoice. But when the corrupt lead, the people groan. Father, we choose rejoicing. Oh, Father, put the righteous in power. Oh, let your light fall this hour. Oh, from the valley to the top. Oh, we declare your reign of power. Oh, Father, put the righteous in power. In power, let your glory flood this hour. From the valley to the tower, we declare your reign of power.